There is one inevitability in life, and that is that things will go wrong.
Do the crane, Daddy boy!
You're doing this to yourself, man.
Yes! Yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh!
Sometimes in life we get put in the worst circumstances. Times we get pushed to our absolute limit where we can't help but feel agony, pain, or grief. In those make or break moments, we have two options. Either go along with it or resist it. The path of passion or the path of peace. Today I'm going to be taking a deeper look into this idea by looking at Star Wars and The Karate Kid, two franchises I think that exemplify this kind of conflict between passion and peace. In these two franchises, they exemplify these qualities I'm talking about, but the protagonists using their peace and focus for their strength, and the antagonists typically using their hatred, anger, or grief for their strength. In the movies I'm talking about, there are four main characters I want to focus on, which are Luke Skywalker, who is the protagonist of Star Wars, Darth Vader, the antagonist, as well as Daniel LaRusso, the protagonist of Karate Kid, and then Mike Barnes, the antagonist of Karate Kid 3. Or at least one of the antagonists of that movie. There's like three. The thing is, between all four of these characters is they're not really that different. At their core, they're all trying to do the right thing. For Luke Skywalker, all he wants to do is help the Rebel Alliance defeat the Empire and restore peace and order to the galaxy. For Darth Vader, it's the same thing but reversed. He wants to destroy the Rebel Alliance so that the Empire can bring peace and order to the galaxy. LaRusso as well. All he wants to do is restore peace to his life because now he, in the movie, gets harassed by Cobra Kai coming back. And all he wants to do is just appear strong so that way they don't mess with him anymore and he can just continue to live his life. Mike Barnes, he's hired by Terry Silver, and in the movie he fights LaRusso and harasses him for pretty much the purpose of just getting paid. More money equals more control, order, stability in your own life. So what I'm getting at is they all kind of come from the same place, and at least initially they're all kind of justified. They all started off with some tragic backstory that led them to become who they are, more than likely some kind of problem they faced, and it's how they addressed it that they start to split paths. Luke has his entire family murdered in the first movie. Vader's wife dies because he got gaslit by the Emperor. LaRusso gets bullied in basically every single movie. And then Mike Barnes probably just wants to get some money so that he can make a good living and live his life. Now that we've talked about why the bad guys aren't actually so bad, let's get into what actually makes them bad, which is their emotion and lack of control.
Yes, run! Yes, Jedi strength flows from the Force. But beware of the dark side. Anger, fear, aggression. The dark side of the Force are they. Easily they flow, quick to join you in a fight. If once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. Consume you it will.
Is the dark side stronger?
No, no, no. Quicker, easier, more seductive.
But how am I to know the good side from the bad?
Imagine someone throws a drink at you at a bar. That rush of adrenaline, that anger, it starts to swell inside of you. Your fist starts to tighten, and all of a sudden you've already thrown a punch. You look around, he's on the ground. When you refocus, you realize he just spilt his drink on you on accident. Everyone looks at you like you're an animal. You realize you lost control. This is what I refer to when I say the passion. It's not feeling anger, it's being overwhelmed by it, controlled by it, being a slave to it, allowing it to dominate your life and control your destiny. And now, I'm not saying don't feel anger, don't feel emotion. That's impossible. We're human. We have to. And honestly, it would be disturbing if we couldn't. Without emotion, we couldn't love each other. We couldn't care for each other. You have to have a little bit of emotion at the very least to do basic functions as a human being. What I'm trying to get at though is with every emotion comes a potential for a slippery slope. You just have to make sure you don't go down that. This is the reason why in Star Wars, the Jedi are always like, oh, don't have attachments. If you love somebody, that means you care for them. And if you lose them, that's an opportunity for pain and hurt. When you have pain and hurt, that leads to anger, hatred, and then eventually suffering. The sense of passion I'm talking about, this uncontrolled passion, it can give you great strength, but it also tunnel visions you. So that's why you see people like Darth Vader in those movies, or Mike Barnes. They give it their absolute all. They're aggressive, they're violent, They are completely just locked in, but they're so unaware of what they've done, or they're so consumed by their emotion, they refuse to see what they've done, and they stay that way forever. Luckily, there is one antidote though, and that is peace.
If you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will.
Champion, get up! You suck, LaRusso! You suck, man! And your teacher's karate shit! You hear me? It's shit! You're a joke, LaRusso! Your karate's a joke! And your teacher is worth shit! He's nothing! He's nothing! And you're nothing! I own you! I own you, LaRusso! Who's your little trap teacher now, huh? He's a phony, man!
Your hate has made you powerful. Now, fulfill your destiny and take your father's place at my side.
Never. I'll never turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is the power of controlled emotion and peace. The same two things are happening in these clips. They're both being overwhelmed with emotion, controlled by it. Luke cuts his father's hand off, the same thing that his father did to him. Daniel's being yelled at by Mike, giving in to his fear. But eventually they realize, no, this is not who I want to be. And they reject that. They return to focus. They don't go down that slippery slope. They realize that they want to be better. It does not matter how hard your opponent throws a punch. If you're able to dodge it, redirect it, use their own strength and passion against them, then you will always come out a winner. In summary, we all have the potential to be a Luke Skywalker or a Darth Vader, a Daniel LaRusso or a Mike Barnes. We all have problems in every day of our life. It's how we face them that changes and determines who we are. Will you get upset? Will you let it haunt you for the rest of your life? Or will you be controlled in peace? Not being controlled by everything else around you, your surroundings, the events, but only by yourself. That is true freedom. And that is true strength.